The Minelab X-Terra Elite. Now, I've been waiting to test this machine for quite a while. Can it mix it with the big boys, or will it be sat on the bench with the wheezy kids? At a price of just under 500 quid, you'll probably think no. However, this Minelab X-Terra Elite has the very latest Minelab DNA, and that's multi-IQ. So, it could well be a yes. First of all, I'm going to go out coin shooting with this machine. Then I'm going to take it on a Roman site which is contaminated with iron, and then last of all I'm going to give it a test on the beach and see how that beach mode works. The different search modes are accessed by pressing this button. So we've got Park 1, Park 2. Now 1s and 2s run a slightly different frequency, so the number 2s run a higher working frequency, more sensitive to the small stuff. Field 1, Field 2, Beach 1, Beach 2, and then you're back to Park 1. Now that is really simple. In the center there it's telling us we're using multi-IQ. Now if we press this button here, it goes to a single frequency which is 15 kilohertz. Multi-IQ is probably the recommended setting for this machine. If you're on the beach mode, you've only got multi-IQ, there's no 15 kilohertz availability there. So we have the sensitivity meter there and the discrimination pattern. Now you can see this area which isn't showing, that's the rejected area, but if we press the horseshoe it all comes into play, so we can rely on the tones to tell us whether to dig or not to dig. So that's the horseshoe, it just activates the all metal mode. Sensitivity plus and minus, pinpoint button, we'll demonstrate that when we're in the field. Well, here I am, I'm on a club dig, and I should imagine a lot of you guys will be in the same situation if you have an X-Terra Elite. So it's not a Roman site, it's just your average club field, and there's a chance of some nice stuff coming out. Lots of other machines about. First thing we're going to do now is do a noise cancel. That's all there is to it. Here we go. Am I expecting this X-Terra Elite to perform the same as the Equinox 900 or even the Manticore? No, not at all. What I'm expecting here is just some sensible performance, some good returns on my investment. There's a little target there. Well, it's actually a big target, big number. There it is, look, laid on the surface. I can see exactly what it is. It's a coin. Don't really know what it is at the minute, I'll have to clean it up, but yay! There's a lot of iron on this little patch. No need to ground balance because it's not mineralised ground. This is just iron contamination, small nails, small bits of iron, things like that. Of course, if you don't want to hear the iron buzz, all you have to do is hit the horseshoe button and that eliminates it. So in theory, you'll only hear the good targets. Here we go, we've got all the iron buzzing away. Personally, I like the iron buzz, but if you didn't want to hear it, just hit the horseshoe and you can see the discrimination range changes, and that's it. You've got a relatively silent operation. Horseshoe again, bringing that iron back in. Oh, what we got there, it's coming up at 49, 47, so it's a high conductor. There's some iron in that signal, isn't there? There it is. I've just moved that iron, look, that's over there. So the signal's cleaned up a little bit now. There you go, we're out. I can see it. It's just there, look. Laid on the surface, and it's a musket ball. Excellent, nice sound that, wasn't it? The weight of this X-Terra is 1.9 kilos or 2.6 pounds, so it's not a heavy machine at all, is it? So far so good. I'm going to carry on detecting. Why not join me on a Roman site and see how this X-Terra Elite performs? I think I'm going to be using field 2 because that's a higher frequency just to start off with. Sweep speed I'm going to be using it maximum on 3 because there is a lot of iron here. So let's see how it performs in amongst the iron. Let's see if it can find any of those small Roman coins. What we need to do is a noise cancel. All tones, why not? Let's give all tones a try. Oh, there's a nice one. Coming up about 14. Well, it's inside this clod, and there it is, look. I can see it. It's a Roman coin. Excellent. What I will say is this iron, new multi-IQ Plus with the Minelabs are using, really seem to work well on Roman sites. All this iron. I'm getting a few high spikes, but that's because I've got that silencer or FE filter turned right off. That's iron. I don't think that's iron. That sounds really good. Just bring the coil back. When it disappears, it's under the nose of the coil. You don't very often get these high tones on a Roman site. It's mainly focusing on those low conductive targets, those low sounds, because they're a lot of the time little Roman coins, but in this case this is another little Roman coin. Can you see it just there? I wonder if that could be perhaps a silver coin. That's why it is such a strong signal. I don't know. So that's where we dug the Roman coin, and that's all the iron around it. I have bought the Manticore today, but I'm really enjoying this little X-Terra. 54! It seems to be singling out these targets without any problems at all. I can see it there, look. Can you see it? It's just dropped out. It's on the surface. Wow. Oh, I'm loving this. I'm absolutely loving it. And there you are. Fantastic. And I'm not even trying too hard. I'm just walking along, talking to you guys, just sweeping the thing, and they're just jumping out at me. You'll probably recall I mentioned that I didn't think this V12X coil would be very good for a Roman site due to the iron contamination and the size of the coil, because in theory if you've got a big coil you see too many targets under the coil per sweep, but it's just the opposite. It's singling out these tiny little targets with ease. Now I don't know why it's doing that. Obviously it's physics, there's something to do with the DNA, the software, the coil construction. I really don't know, but that's blown my mind, you know. That sounds like quite a large target coming in at 18. And there it is. Smiling like a Cheshire cat. And do you know what? That's me with this machine. If this video's brought you any entertainment or value, why not take a look at my other Minelab videos, and it would be good if you could perhaps like or subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate that. Let's get down to the beach and see how it works on the wet sand. Two tones. I think I'll go for all tones because I quite like that one yesterday. Sweep 3. I'm going to drop that down to 2. May change things in a little while. ferrous is 2. I'm probably going to leave that as it is. So the sweep and the sensitivity are the 2 I may change, but we've really got to give it a try to see how we go. Okay, so maximum sensitivity, we've got a lot of EMI there, so let's do a noise cancel. Oh, we're on the limit. We're on the limit now, maximum sensitivity. No, too much. Let's go 23. Iron. Coming in at 39.40. And there we go, that's our first coin on the beach, which is a 20p piece. Right, let's try the surf. Do you know what? No false signals at all on that surf. That's working absolutely perfectly. The only problem is I can't hear the speaker very well because of all this noise. Always wear headphones on the beach, guys. I've got 2 signals here. I've got one there. 61. 85. I'm going to have a look at both of those. In fact, let's go round beach 1. There's definitely more iron coming through in beach 1. So has beach 1 got a better iron rejection? I don't know. Beach 2. It's a coin. Another modern coin, 2p piece. Okay, let's check that other target out. Yay! Whoa! She's a £1 coin, £1 from the sand. Look at that. And you see the 2 different metals in that? That's what's giving the 2 different tones. No matter what metal detector you're using, if you've been searching on the beach, make sure you thoroughly wash your detector in fresh water just to get all that nasty salt out of it. Just a quick wash out with fresh water and your machine will last for ages. Now, I did have a nice script written out and it said something like, the X-Terra Elite is a great way to dip your toe into the Minelab's multi-IQ, but at £500, just be prepared to outgrow it very, very quickly. And I'm not going to use that line because I don't think you'll outgrow it quickly. A lot of these mid-range machines, you buy them and then you upgrade really quickly because you understand that not having as many features can be a hindrance. But with this X-Terra Elite, it seems to have everything there in the right place. Fiddleability, 10 out of 10, I have to say. So will I keep this machine in my armoury? Yeah, I will, because I now know I can confidently use it for coin shooting, confidently use it on a Roman site, and it does really, really well on the beach. especially the wet sand in those beach modes. So what more can I say? £500, it's a no-brainer, but for £500 it is the bare unit. You may have to pay a little bit more for the headphone pack, but it's got that V12X coil, which, as you saw on that Roma site, really surprised me. Well, that's it guys. If you want to see another video on the X-Terra Elite, I'll be covering the menu in depth so we can have a talk about the menu features and what it's packed with. But that's it. Don't forget, if you want bespoke one-to-one tuitions, I'll put the links below and you can find them on the Skill School website. Bye for now.